building. Theron Thomas in the building. What's up, my brother?
Man, hey, blessed, brother. How you feeling, man? What's poppin'?
Man, I'm glad to have you here. First of all, people got to put some respect on your name. You know what I'm saying?
I hope they're doing that. I mean, that would be nice.
Four-time Grammy winner, right?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? God is good.
Nominations. I didn't count that much, but I'm sure it's a lot.
Oh man, yeah.
How many nominations? I'm sure you know.
How many nominations? No, I've won every.
He said. Psh.
No. Honestly, it was 4 nominations. I think I've won every time I was nominated.
Oh really?
Yeah, because you know, all the albums, everything won. That I was.
Not a lot of people can say that.
Yeah. God is good, man.
How you feeling?
Man, I feel incredible, man. You know what I'm saying? Came into New York. I'm so happy to be here. You know what I mean? And like, I just continuously keep getting blessed. You know, 2020, 2021 was a crazy year for my whole entire family, from the beginning to the end. And now like the blessings are raining down. So I feel grateful and I feel excited. You know what I'm saying?
And you had like just a big couple years too with like the recent records that you've been working on. Also, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. It's just insane, you know. Tap in, so Sweetie, best friend for Sweetie, big energy with Lotto, About Damn Time Lizzo, Juice Lizzo, the first album, this album, you know, it's a lot. I can't think on all of them off the top of my head, but I definitely could think on those songs. So I'm grateful, man. I'm too happy right now.
Man, I'm so happy for you. And I think so I don't really get to sit down with too many writers that often. I sat down with a couple writers, a couple producers on the show before. But I feel like the one question I've always wanted to ask a writer, right, is like, explain what a writer's camp is like. Because, you know, I feel like we talk about that a lot. We hear people talk about it, like, let's say, like Rihanna. Like, oh, Rihanna's having a writer's camp this weekend for whatever album. Like, what goes into those camps? Like, what is it actually like? Because I've always wondered that.
Man, a writer's camp is just, you know, trying to get the best of the best. All the people who got buzz in the writing world and the producer world, putting them in a room and trying to see if you could come out with the best songs possible. You know, hopefully you hit a first single, or hopefully you hit a couple songs for the album. I mean, in anybody's world, a perfect world would be you do a writer's camp and you get the whole album on the first trip. You save yourself time and money. It never happens like that, but that's really the goal. Funny story is the first writing camp was started because of me and my brother.
Really?
By mistake. Now, it's not like I don't want to. So what happened was Nicole Scherzinger of the Pussycat Dolls was going solo. We did a song called When I Grow Up, which was on the second Pussycat Dolls album. Jimmy Iovine heard it and was like, yo, man, we should do another Pussycat Dolls album. And went around playing this song like, yo, this song is a single. Y'all got to beat this single. You know what? We're going to bring the best producers and the best writers, and we're going to bring them to L.A., and we're going to try to beat this song When I Grow Up. Nobody beat it. We still got the first single. And that's kind of like the birth of writing camps.
That's crazy.
Jimmy Iovine flew like literally Polo, Timbaland, Rock City, will.i.am, Akon, Lady Gaga, Red One, like so many more people, all in LA, all at this studio, and everybody was trying to get Pussycat Dolls songs.
So I got the guy who started the writing camp in the building.
Oh man,
that's crazy,
well, you know what I want to say? Jimmy Iovine started writing camp, but I had something to do with the reason why it happened.
Really?
I was there for the first one.
That's nuts. Well, man, that's dope that you were there at the first one.
Well, you know, God is good. You know, that was like 07, 08. You know what I mean? Like I said, me and my brother really got our foot in. I think we came in the game September 6, 2006. You know what I'm saying? That's when we had first signed our deal with Convict, and that's when I would tell everybody, okay, guys, I'm in the music business. And from there, we've been
the rest was history.
Yeah, we've been here, man. Like, you know, everybody knows ups and downs, but I've been consistently making hits since then. I had a slow period of time. For 3 years, I was flying back and forth to London and Paris trying to work on Rihanna. And then after that, you know, I think I stopped. And then I went and I did Level Up for Sierra, started working with Lizzo, and then I just was like going crazy on my own way.
On your own way, that's dope.
Yeah.
I also recently saw that you said that Victoria Monet was like the most underrated writer.
Most underrated.
Why do you think so? I feel like people give her credit, but also, but I want to hear your opinion.
She's been around writing songs for a long time, and she writes from a traditional, real R&B sense, and they cross over to pop, which what people don't know, if you're in the music business, that's actually not an easy thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's different if I come in and I'm writing pop melodies or, you know, hip hop, which is the biggest genre, you know, the biggest stream genre in America right now. But for her to come in and literally, you can tell she's been influenced by real R&B. Yo, man, I think that black girl is really something special. And her album, Jaguar, hands
Incredible,
down,
yeah.
it's one of my favorite albums. I mean, like, you know, I went to San Diego to see Sierra because we was working on an album, and I drove from San Diego to LA and literally played that album from San Diego all the way to LA, just like, you know, it finished and I started it over, and I just was like, why is this not the biggest album in the world? This is incredible. So I just like to give flowers while people are here to take them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she's somebody that deserves flowers right now.
I definitely think so. Like, I remember one of like her breakout records as an artist was like the Monopoly record with Ariana Grande, because I feel like that's when people really started seeing her as an artist, not just as, you know, I'm sure she had like hits like before that, and she had done work on was it Seven Rings? I think it was Seven Rings.
Yeah, she did.
Seven Rings. And I was like, oh yeah, she's fine. And then when I like looked at her catalog of like shit that she wrote, I was like, oh wow, like she's
insane.
And then her music is incredible too.
Her music is incredible. You know, the funny part is I always say this, not every writer knows how to transition from being a songwriter into being an artist, because sometimes what songwriters think is like, yo, I could just take this hit that I was going to give to Ed Sheeran and I could keep it for myself. But what you don't realize is that's not necessarily your voice. As an artist, you have to have a style and you know, because I did it too. You know, like I started out as an artist and a writer, but my biggest hit with me and my brother, Locked Away with Adam Levine, you know, that was number one in like 107 countries, and we went on tour with Maroon 5. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
But we made a Caribbean pop album, which that doesn't sound like none of the songs that I wrote for anybody else. Rock City has their own style, and then the songs that I write is like, okay, this is for you and this is what you do. And then not every writer understands that.
Interesting. And that's crazy that you brought that up, because I think about like all the artists who I know who are also writers or who started out as writers, and I know like certain artists that worked, certain artists that didn't work, and that's such a good point, because you're writing for somebody else most of the time. So what's your voice? You know
who are you?
Yeah.
You know, because that's the thing. As a celebrity, it's not just as an artist, as a true artist. It's not just about having a hit. It's about having a hit with your voice, where your fan base can be like, "Oh man, I listen to Lizzo because I relate to her because her conversation speaks to me. I listen to Doja Cat because her conversation speaks to me." But Doja Cat conversation is not Nicki Minaj's conversation or Lotto's conversation. Or no, Doja says things that you will only get from Doja. Nicki says things that you can only get from Nicki. And when you're an artist, you got to do that. When you're a songwriter, you got to be able to speak for everybody.
Yeah, facts.
So it's like, oh man, Lizzo, Lotto, Sweetie, Doja. Oh man, all these artists are different. I got to speak, when I'm in the room with these people, I got to speak for them through myself. And then when I'm an artist, I'm like, hey, bruh, but I'm not that. I can't be like, oh, I wrote this song for Lotto, she ain't gonna use it, I'm gonna just keep the hook and keep it for me. Well, bro, that's not your fan base. That's not the people that like our city. They show up to see us for a certain thing. I gotta make that music, which isn't the music that I wrote for Lizzo, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
a good point. Look at that. See, I knew I was gonna get some great gems out of you today. Honestly, I knew, because even when I think about the different female artists that on your resume that you have blown up with these past couple of years too, with these big ass records that have come out. I also wanted to know, how do you get into a space, because you mentioned how everybody's got a different voice, right? You mentioned how you only get this from Lotto, you only get this from
Yes.
Doja. How do you get in the space to speak and write from their perspective? I'm sure you're there with them at some points too, but how do you get in the space to
well, the number one thing for me is the number one thing is basically talking to the artist and understanding what they want to do and who they're trying to speak to. And then for me, I just I'm a futurist. I'm always thinking about what's the next thing, what's the next thing. So for a long time, I've been saying, yo, the females are coming. The females are coming. The females are coming. But I feel like women have been independent forever. So the independent woman isn't, I can pay my own bills and I can take care of myself. They've been doing, you know, women been independent since it ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a job if you want to get with me. They've been talking independent. They've been talking independent from then. They've been talking independent from Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
So the new independent woman is, I can say and do whatever a man can do. Mm-hmm. That's why Cardi B can say little, you can't with me if you wanted to. And as a dude, you have no problem. You feel extremely comfortable singing those lyrics in the club. I remember being in the club and remember when female songs would play, men would stop dancing or leave the dance floor unless they were with a girl.
Yeah.
So they would go get a drink. The lady, you know, all my single ladies, great. They'd be like, yeah, I like this song, but you know. And so I remember writing Pour It Up. I remember when I did Pour It Up for Rihanna and I was like, I don't want dudes to leave the dance floor when it's come on. And I remember being in the club and everybody going strip clubs and dollar bills. And I still got more money. Patron shots, can I get it? Dudes didn't feel like uncomfortable. A dude was like, oh, all I see is signs. And poured it and fast forward into the future where music is and what we're looking at. We're just looking at, you know, women just taking ownership in themselves and their sexuality and their power and speaking from a place of pure confidence. You know what I mean? And that's where we are. And I just felt like I knew it was coming. And so I've been, by the way, I've been writing these songs for a long time, being told like, yo, bro, nah, that ain't it. And I'm like, no, it ain't. It might not be it now, but I'm telling you, women want to say these words. Only once a woman says this, all the other girls gonna say it.
Right. Facts. I agree. I think of, you know who I think of that has the perfect crossover right now between men and women? Glorilla.
I love her.
I think she's
so awesome.
Because it's like I could drive down the block because I was just in Houston, but whether it's Houston or New York, I see men driving on the highway bumping her shit. And that's something that you don't see for a lot of female artists right now. You see it for some. I'm not saying
of course.
Certain female artists do have that crossover with men, but I think the person who's doing it the best at this moment in time right now is her. It's Glorilla.
It's the lyrical content, of course, obviously, but it's that voice, man. That voice comes on and it's so powerful and it's demanding and it don't sound soft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She looks soft, and when I say soft, not like, oh yeah, you a punk or something. I mean like, no, she's a woman, she's feminine, you know what I'm saying? She's twerking in the videos, she's showing her sexuality, but the music don't sound soft. It don't sound like I don't feel, you know, uncomfortable playing it with my homeboys like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That it just feels right. I don't feel uncomfortable. Bro, I'm screaming that to the top of my lungs. I made a TikTok screaming that at a pool party at my brother's house in Atlanta because it's incredible.
You know what my favorite verse from her is? And it might surprise you.
Yo, hit me with it.
Her record, her verse on Duke Deuce's record.
Which one is that? I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard that one?
No. Come on.
Play it for you real
No,
quick?
Please. That's what we need. This is what I need.
Lord, YouTube gods, do not copyright me, please. So the person who actually put me onto the song was Glow when Glow was here.
Okay.
So Glow came here, she put me onto this song that they did. This song, I think it released in February, released before FNF. They did it and it released before FNF.
Oh, fire.
Hold on, all right, it's actually at the beginning of the song. Don't copyright me, YouTube.
Just say that. That's a good cook. That's a good chorus.
Right?
No, that's a great verse.
Yeah, shout out Duke, shout out Glorilla.
Yeah, shout out to y'all. That's a great verse. And, you know, and I'm being honest, I'm not doing it because I'm on the show. I was afraid for you to play it, and I was like, what if I don't like it? I just said so much great things about Glorilla, and then I'd be like, song that was terrible. Nah, that was fire.
That was fire.
She's fire, bro.
You gotta watch the video. The video gives a completely like.
Oh no.
The video
I'm gonna
incredible.
watch it on the drive. I'm gonna watch it on the drive to the airport. That's what I'm talking about. That's raw. That's real. It feels authentic. And then, like I said, I'm playing that in my car with my homeboys. It don't feel like, you know, soft. You know what I'm saying?
And I think about, and like what's different, because I remember Doja in the early days of, like, I used to be on Doja's IG Live back before she like had any huge records, and I used to just watch her make beats on her IG Live.
Oh, she's one of the best.
But she was so relatable and so interesting that, like, I think that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like what I see in Doja, like I see in Glorilla, but like different. You know what I'm saying? Different people,
Yo, bro,
but like
Doja
you know,
Cat is one of the best artists in the world.
I agree.
No. I mean, like, I think what people see on the internet and what she brings you to see is cool, but being in the studio with that girl, you know, with that woman and seeing what she could do, like, some days I'm with Doja Cat writing and I'm intimidated. Bro, and if anybody knows me, bro, I'm too confident. And I'm with Doja like, okay, I don't know let me see what she gonna do first and let me just follow her because
You following her lead in the stew?
yeah, I mean, no, definitely, bro. Like, she's incredible, bro. Like, it's a I think out of every, I want to say her and Lizzo are really, they're really that. They're really like, could be in the studio by themselves, coming up with chords and ideas, record themselves, make the, you know, and you like, okay, fix that, help. You could help, but sometimes, most times they don't even need your help, you know? So, I mean, the fact that I get the privilege of working with both of those ladies, Lizzo and Doja, to me, I'm always excited because I'm like, they just, their mind, they just think different.
Right. I see that with them too, and I think that's dope.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about that I was thinking about the other day on the drive when I was driving, right? Because I feel like I forgot what podcast it was, but everybody was having like this conversation about ghostwriters, right? And about ghostwriters in hip hop. And the reason why I want to talk to you about it is because as a writer, I wanted to get your opinion on, like, I guess the term ghostwriter. It's the term itself, right? And like, do you have like any like deeper thoughts on it? Like, is like the term ghostwriter, like, should people be using that term? Should, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of layers to unpack there, but I wanted to get your, like,
I've never been a ghostwriter in my life. If you look at every song that I've ever done, my name is in the credits.
Right.
And I think a ghostwriter stems, like, if you got a ghostwriter, that means their name ain't in the credits. It'll say it's written by you and this person. You know, they get publishing and all that, but then they're a ghost.
Yeah.
You know, so
you won't know it's them that's on the
you're gonna know I was there, you're gonna know I collaborated or helped or I did something. And then with rap, not everybody that has a writer means that they wrote a verse. You know what I'm saying? I could have wrote a chorus. I could have just wrote the chorus and the rapper came in and wrote their verse. I think it's but at the end of the day, the music business, let's stress on the word business before we go back to music.
Right.
The music business, the business part, is about being lucrative and making money and being successful. You know what I'm saying? I think the greatest songwriter, like, in this generation, especially when it comes to hip hop, is Drake. Songwriter. He's an incredible rapper too, but I'm not arguing rap. I'm talking about writing a song.
Yeah.
And even Drake will take somebody and help him and build it up. That's genius, bro.
Yeah.
That's not lame. That's not whack. That's genius. Now, don't get me wrong. People like Busta Rhymes. I remember Busta Rhymes coming out and say, "Yo, nobody's never written my raps or anything like that," which is incredible. But maybe somebody just wrote a chorus. Maybe somebody came in with a concept idea, and I don't know this. I can't speak for Busta. I don't want, I know Busta. He's a friend. I don't want him to call me and be like, "Bro, hey, bro." I'm like, bro, I'm just saying. Collaborative music is the best music. People who collaborate. My favorite writers, producers, they all collaborate. They all are willing to get in the studio with somebody else and be like, let's bounce back. Be like, ooh, let's say this. What about this concept? And getting the best thing out of music. If you look, real talk, if you really look at the best songs, like if you look at like, yo, bro, these are some great songs. There's probably at least 5 names in the credits. For writing and producing and making the music. It's at least 5 people to make, music is made better in a group. Not saying that people can't do it on their own, but the best, man, it's better with a team of people. It's better with 2, 3, 4, 5 people in a room.
I agree.
Bouncing back the idea. So my opinion on ghostwriters, it ain't a big deal, and I feel like more artists should have not ghostwriters. I think more rappers should work with writers. You know, get the best bars, get the best songs.
Yeah.
You know, people buy tickets to watch people sing their favorite song. So make more hits, man.
Right. I've been it's funny because I feel like I've had a lot of conversations lately about like where music is now, right? And like sometimes artists will bring up here, people be like, oh, why you brought that artist up? Like, he don't even got bars. And I'm like, yo, I don't think a lot of people realize, right, that like nowadays it's not so much about, and this goes back to what you said, it's not so much about having the best bars. It's about, can you make a good song? And do people like that song? And do people sing that song? And are you at festivals and people singing that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, bro, do you know how hard it is to make a hit, bro? I mean, let's just over-exaggerate because I don't know the exact... We're going to over-exaggerate for a minute because I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it's something like 60,000 songs per day is released on Spotify or weekly. That's Spotify alone. That's not Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud. Tidal. No, that is...
Audio Mac.
That's Spotify alone.
Yeah.
Out of those, it's only a top 200 on Spotify. And then there's a Billboard. If you and then you're on Billboard 100 charts.
Yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something, everybody out there making music. If you're number 97, I commend you, I respect you, I applaud you, and I'd say keep going. That is difficult. When you're number one, 60,000 songs a day. We're talking about, and then there's the songs that release through record labels, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about the guys who release songs. We're not talking about somebody like Lil Nas X who wasn't signed at the moment and just uploaded Old Town Road, and it became one of the biggest songs in history ever made. Yeah. Bro, do you know how difficult that is? And then I hear people talking like, yo, I'm like, bruh, I've been in this business for a long time. Most of your favorite songwriters, producers, they have maybe one hit a year. The biggest ones. Sometimes you have a good year and you be like, oh, bruh. When somebody,
oh, bro,
okay, somebody has a good year. No, okay, let's say you had a great year. You like, man, I hit him with a 10-piece. I hit him with a 12-piece. Smashes. Yeah, bro, that's not every single year, bro. It's not easy. So again, I think more collaborations because everybody could eat, everybody could make money, everybody could be big. It's enough money for it to go around. It's great to do it. So, you know. That's my take.
No, I agree. I think it's you know, I think that people just need to realize, and I'm glad you said that because I got you with the time, my brother. Don't worry, I see you looking at me. I got you, my brother. I know what the airport is. I got you. Yeah. I know where it is. I know what it is. I know where it is. I got you. We're gonna wrap up soon.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you said that because I think this is very important for younger artists who watch my show to like really realize. You know what I'm saying? It's like a hit, like you said. I mean, most artists, most writers, artists, whatever, they get one hit a year. You know what I'm saying? And then also, we're going to commend you again because you've had a lot of hits over the past couple years, which, you know, I'm sure is like, that's considered rare in your field to have that many in that short period of time.
For that length of time. You know, you got to think, people go on runs. You know, somebody will have it for 5 years. Somebody will have it for 4 years. Somebody, you even hit a good 7-piece.
Yeah.
But when you start going into the double digits, when you go 10 and up, when you're 16 years in, you're 20 years in, at some point you got to be like, bruh.
Yeah.
Respect. You know, and even to the people that had it 3 or 4 years, or to the people, I watched an interview with Sir Mix-a-Lot. He's still spending Baby Got Back money. Crazy. Listen, bruh, you know what a real hit record could change your life. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the singer. I don't know his name, but the guy that wrote Margaritaville.
Right.
That man started actual restaurants called Margaritaville based on a song. That, my friend, is life-changing. So when you're in these rooms, bro, you want to make hit records and you want to collaborate. And I think a lot of the times with new artists, they hear so many things about numbers and being ripped off, and everybody's fighting for percentages. I just watched an interview with Jay-Z and Kevin Hart where Jay-Z talks about percentages. And he's like, you know, Steve Jobs owned 1% of Apple, which is a $3 trillion company, which that means Steve Jobs was worth $30 billion. And by the way, I have friends who've written hits. I know friends who've made $6 million off of 20% of a song.
Jesus.
So my thing is, don't Don't get in the room already worrying about what you have and what you don't have. Like, bro, let's make the best song ever. Let's make It's Going Down. Let's make I Need a One Dance. Let's make We're Beautiful Like Diamonds in the Sky. Let's make that every time we get in the studio, or at least attempt to.
Yeah, I agree. I think my last note that I'm going to say so we can get you to the airport is just, I think about whoever, I don't know who else wrote on Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas.
Woo! I think Mariah Carey wrote that whole song with whoever produced it with her. To my knowledge. Yeah.
Don't quote us on this, please.
No. Again, but think on that. Let's say Mariah, I think she did, but let's say she did. To the people, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that you can't make music by yourself. Mm-hmm. Mariah Carey made one of the biggest songs of her career by herself. Shout out to Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
But some of my favorite Mariah Carey songs was written with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, if you're a writer, is a writer. If you can write a song, bro, there's some days where I'm in the studio alone. Miley Cyrus, We Can't Stop. I mean, I wrote that song in the room by myself.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was alone.
Nuts.
No, you know, Mike will send me beats, I was alone. So my thing is like, but let's not take credit like, oh yeah, I can write songs by myself. I prefer to write songs with people because the collaborative effort, you have a better chance of making a song that when your kids are 27 and 30, they still eating. The man that wrote, I'm coming out. This man is still collecting. This man's family, to my knowledge, is still collecting 6-figure checks quarterly.
Crazy.
That's what...
Life-changing.
That's what great music is. So I think we need to stop going on podcasts and stop going on things and arguing about, yeah, bro, listen, bro, did you make the best song? Today when you went to the studio, did you make the best song that you could make? Cool. Do you think that song is going to last forever and ever and ever? If you don't think so, who can you bring in to help you advance that song to make it last forever and ever? So include everybody, bro. I don't care who you want to help you. Your cousin, your auntie, your uncle. If you think they can bring something to it, bring them all in. Collaborative songwriting, collaborative music making is the way to be as rich as you want to be. Think on that. Listen, think on everybody. I talked about this. Kanye West, samples, billionaire, collaborative. Mm-hmm. Dr. Dre, samples, collaborative, billionaire. Puff, samples, collaborative. Jay-Z, he's worked with everybody. Tell me, Drake. So I don't understand, how can you be looking at people and admire people and be like, yo, I want to be that big and not studying that? Bro, there's a process to their longevity.
Yeah.
You want to be in the room with you and you want to be in the room with just you and your engineer? Okay. All right. You last 6 years, bro. Then what? What are you going to do? You trying to be here for 20 years? You trying to be Stevie Wonder? You trying to gracefully bow out? Collaborate. Our word of today.
Our word of today is collaborate. I think that's a great place to end it because you got a flight to catch, and I don't want to be the one responsible for making you miss your flight.
No, it's all good.
I got a great reputation. Don't want to ruin that.
No.
I'm fucking with you. But before we get out of here, anything you want to let the people know, what you got going on, anything else you want to let them know, where they can follow you at, of course, very important.
Oh, man.
Right here, this camera.
Yeah, definitely, man. Follow me, Theron _ on Instagram. That's THERON. Like I said, Theron, name so nice that you got to say it twice. And other than that, man, like I said, man, I'm making music. Me and my manager, Ray Daniels, my brother, Timothy, we're in Atlanta. We're in Miami Circle. If you're trying to reach us, hit us up. We're looking for, new writers, new producers. We're always, y'all heard me. I'm yelling, collaborate every day. I want the best people to come and let's make the best music possible so we can be around for another 30, 40 years.
I love that. Collaborate. Word of the day. You heard it here.
Pick up yourself.
Make sure you go follow him. Go run up all the records that he wrote. That's out now. Go show him some love. Go show him support. Love and support is free. Until next time, On the Radar. Much love.
Yo.
Pleasure.
Love, brother. Peace.